There we go. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. If this pops up on my screen one more fucking time, I'm actually gonna get the fuck off, dude. It's race time, baby. Hello, everybody. I hope my mic's working. Kind of embarrassing if it wasn't, and I was just sitting here talking to myself the whole time. Oh, it is. Sweet. I am your host and commentator, Toasty Oven Bread. Hello, Roopsie. I am doing wonderful. How are you doing? How are you doing? 13-lap sprint. And then we'll go back to lobby, do short qualifying, and have our 50% race. So, just waiting on people. This would probably be good to get that going. Well, it is going. This is disconnected. Whatever. Alright. When do you think is a good enough time to tell people to go? Yeah, I was gonna give it a minute. Okay. If I'm being so dead ass, if this pops up on my screen one more time, I'm Solz isn't getting his frickin' Racing League tools. I'm being so honest. Yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell him to get started. Solz might just not get his Racing League tools. I guess we'll see. Drivers have begun given the big thumbs up. Something's going on with that frickin' billboard, bro. The frickin' I don't know how to pronounce that. Oh, all of the logos are just getting burnt into that billboard in the back there. But here we have the grid lined up. Sub-Zero for race starting on the front. And away we go racing for the first time here in Britain, as I'm going to quickly try to edit my layout to get this off my screen. Go back to see how everything plays out. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Sub-Zero for race still leads Andy Fate getting a great start. Here's Edge. He's going to try to go all the way around. P4 for Edge. Forrestal sitting P5. Let's Blitz in 6th. J 7th. Wasaki in 8th. Formula Phantom 9th. Roopsie Cola. BP plays. My God. Felix. Thiago. He's going to try to go around the Haas. Can he stick it? He's going to try it again. Looking for the move. Cannot get it done, though. Watching. Rusaki moving up. I think maybe. Maybe not. As let's get some details up in here. Hello, MJW. How are you doing? So, Rusaki falling down a position. Not the worst start that he could have had. Fighting with the McLaren now. Watching everyone go down this beautiful straight. And that's a Haas off track. In the very back, that's Felix. Nick in the very back as well in the kick sauber. Side by side, Meraki with Phantom. Who is going to come out on top of this battle? Neither of the drivers want to give up the position. And here comes BP Plays to try to make a move on Meraki. Can he make it stick? DRS gets enabled. No, he cannot. Meraki still battling with this McLaren. These guys cannot get enough of each other. And there goes. Through goes BP Plays following Meraki. Yellow flags in the back for Felix. Phantom losing 2 positions on that one straight. He's going to lose another one right now to Thiago. Thiago down the inside. The V-Carb driver moving up into 11th. But Phantom's not done yet. He's going to keep going after it. He's going to go for the inside move. There he goes up into 11th. This McLaren cannot get enough action. Can he stick it around the outside though? No, he does not. Does not get the grip. P12 for the McLaren of Phantom still. Here's Blitz. He is trailing on the back of Edge. Looking to get by soon, maybe. DRS zone is coming up very shortly. That's Thiago and Phantom fighting once again, side by side. Ooh, a little bit of a tap. Thiago goes off track. He's going to join back on. That was a little bit sketchy. Going right in front of the McLaren like that, but I think he could get away with that. That's Phantom! He's falling down in the yellow flags, and he's spun off track! Completely facing backwards! The McLaren of Phantom! Losing down positions. Andy gets the fastest lap right now. 128.5, putting in some great work. Yellow flags out for, that is Phantom again. Just struggling in this race, apparently. Andy in P2. He has been keeping up with Sub-Zero in the Haas quite well. This top 3 could be very competitive. Forrestal Waif also wanting to make a move. Here's Andy with the DRS. Beautiful, beautiful move on the DRS straight. Getting by to lead the race for the first time now. Andy in the Williams. Fate on the back. He is going to be looking to capitalize on any mistakes the Haas makes. Andy, what power and grip that he has out of that corner as he's going to try to increase this gap that he has, trying to make it a little more comfortable. Fate, on the other hand, he's going to be trying to do the exact opposite to Sub-Zero. He's trying to close that gap. See if he can close it and get him to top 2, and then maybe hunt down for the win. I don't know if Blitz got the move there or not. I wasn't paying attention. My mommy was texting me. So I apologize. But sometimes mommies have to come first. That sounded really weird. I apologize. Fate still hunting down Sub-Zero, but he has to worry about Forrestal on the back of him now. Ooh, going down to the back of the mid-pack. BP Plays trying to go around the championship leader, Meraki, and he gets the move done. Very clean move. Meraki down to 10th. Not having the greatest race that we've seen him have. Jay in the Williams, his teammate, is currently leading this race. Jay's probably going to want to do something. Cutting back up to Fate. In the V-Carb. He is getting closer and closer to Sub-Zero. I don't think it's going to be long before we see a move. Although I could be very wrong about that. I'm pretty sure I said that before and... Oh! Fate! I don't know what happened! Big lockup! Into the wall he goes! That's gonna be a VSC! Or, no, it's gonna be a full safety car! Full safety car here in the sprint as Fate has a terrible, terrible turn hitting the wall. That's gonna be Fate's race. Kind of locked. This is gonna allow everybody to come into pits. Andy pits. Forrestal pits, Blitz pits, Edge pits, J pits, Roopsy Cola pits, BP Blaze behind him, taking it a little safe, Bersaki, Fiago, whoever LCR is, sent by God, Nick, race leader right now, going on out on the mediums. I almost said out on the Williams because I was thinking that he was in the Williams car, but the double stacks could cost people some time. Felix gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It is 50, not 80. Always trips me up on this track. So Andy coming out, leading this race still. Sub-Zero in P2, Forrestal P3, Blitz P4, Edge P5, J P6, BP Blaze P7, Roopsy Cola P8, Mersaki P9. Fiago P10, sent by God P11, and our last points holder right now, Nick in P12 for the Kickstarter. Fate's coming out after replacing his wing. Very unfortunate crash for him. I would love to get an onboard of what happened. Fate's typing in chat right now. Just had mad oversteer, says Fate. I was rooting for him. I know I'm not supposed to, but I think he was on for such a great one. Nick's gonna get a 10-second time penalty. What is happening in the back? What the? What? Okay. Well, Nick gets a 10-second time penalty. He's gonna pit. This LCR guy is gonna pit. Felix is gonna pit. I don't know exactly what was going on there, but whatevs. Who am I to comment? Let's take a look at the standings. Currently, Mersaki leads the championship. Blitz P2. So right now, actually, Blitz is going to be leading the championship if the race finishes like this. Forrestal P3, Edge P4. Those are the only top 5 drivers who are in the race right now. And there's only, oh my god. Bro, what is happening with our drivers? Only 5 out of the top 10 drivers for the Drivers' Championship are in. And only 6 out of the top 12. What are we doing? What is this? Safety car is going to be in this lap. Andy will lead our restart. First one tonight. Would not be surprised if we get another one, though. Really just end the race. Andy taking the Iceman route, not warming up his tires. The Williams driver looking to get his win in the sprint today. He is allowed to restart the pack at any time. New rules indicate you can go side by side once the leader begins to speed. Sub-Zero is going to get caught lacking a little bit as Andy goes off, taking off. Forrestal Wave, Fury's on the attack. Is he going to be able to get by to move up into second place? He is going to be trailing all over the back of that Haas, but that Haas is so quick, so he's going to be trying to do some work right now. Let's pop up some tires. Forrestal getting by Sub-Zero up into second. Forrestal trying to do something here to be in the fight for the championship. The Mercedes driver takes second place. BP plays. He's going to try to go through again. We saw him do this once before. He's going to be following the back of Jay, trying to get that slipstream. The most important aspect. And he's going to get by Edge. Edge down to 7th. Roopsy Cola has a little bit of a slip as I think that's Mercedes on the hunt now. The Red Bull driver trying to make the ways up into this race to hold on to his championship lead. Washaki, more like fake Saki. Championship leader can't even put himself in the top 5. Yellow flags are still out. Oh! Roopsy Cola taking a nasty hit. And off! Oh no! He has contact with Iago into the gravel trap. That Mercedes driver going to lose so many positions because of that. Going to lose yet another one to Phantom. But everyone wants to watch the leaders. Forrestal is going to have the DRS here as it gets enabled. Trailing the back of Andy. Fighting for the win soon. Jay up into 6th. I think he moved. I hope he did. Fighting in the back between the V-Carb and the McLaren driver. Side by side through whatever turn that is. Edge falling down yet another place. As Mercedes moves up. Those hards not doing the McLaren driver any justice. As the other Red Bull gets by. And Fate! Edge losing 2 positions in that one little sector. Sub-Zero for race. Looking hungry on the attack, but so is Blitz. He's going to be leading the championship as it stands if they finish like this. Only time will tell if he can get by, though, to put himself onto the podium for this. Mr. Sub-Zero in the Haas. Going to have the pressure behind the Ferrari driver of Blitz. The DRS. What is going to happen between these two drivers? Sub-Zero goes very defensive, but it's not enough. Yes, it is. I stand corrected. He stays ahead of Blitz for at least one more corner. Blitz tries to go a long way around. Cannot make it stick, though, so he's going to stick in his 4th. But that's going to cost Sub-Zero some major time as he's going to fall away from the leaders. He's almost dropped out of the DRS range, but he's still going to have it for the time being. Going off track a little bit, so my god. As he trails his teammate, Mercedes, championship leader currently. Will be losing that, though, as I have said so many times. I don't know why I keep bringing that up, but... Jay, looking on the attack on the Red Bull, cannot make it stick, though. continues to sit in 8th. Here's Fate, though. He might be looking for something. Oh, big hit! And Fate might get collected in that! Ripsy Cola retiring from the session. Our first retirement of the night. That is Jay also retiring, as he looks like he was off the pits. Or off the track. Not off the pits. Off the track. Andy is settling into pace here now. 4 more laps left. Yeah, I've seen some pretty bad moves today, Roopsy. I think you're just getting pretty unlucky. Side by side, Thiago and Phantom. We've seen them side by side in this corner before. Thiago getting the better grip, the better exit, staying ahead. But Phantom might still want to make this stick. Jay is apologizing in chat. Yeah. Ooh, little bit of dirty air for Nick, as he's going to get sent off track just a little bit. Blitz right on the back of Sub-Zero. He's going to want to make this move soon. 3 more laps left in the Britain sprint. That's LCR with a 3-second time penalty. On the back of the Haas! Blitz with the DRS. Does he have the battery to make it stick? He failed once before at this move. Can he make it stick here today? Going the long way around turn 7. Right inside. He's trying to make all the moves he can. Trying to limit the space that he's giving the Haas driver. Clean side-by-side racing for this last podium spot. He cannot make it stick, though. Sub-Zero's going to continue to be ahead, but he's not going to get the DRS here. Blitz will, so this could be that move done and dusted if Blitz can play his card smart, if he has the DRS to burn. DRS flap shoots open. Can the Ferrari driver make it by? He's been trying to do this so many times before. Tries to into turn 15. Can he make it stick, though? No, he cannot. Having a little bit of a lockup. If I blitz, I'm definitely getting a little impatient here. He's been trying to make this move stick for the last 6 laps or so, and it's just not happening. And soon he's going to have to worry about BP plays in the background. With the DRS, Sub-Zero going defensive. We've seen these drivers go at it here before. Do not go at it this time. And that's Phantom retiring from the race. I agree, Lewis. We've seen some pretty good driving, and then we've seen some pretty bad driving. Jay, it is so over. I agree. Oh! Big spin for BP Plays, the Alpine driver! Does not get the grip that he wanted there, and he's going to be spun, losing several places. Bersaki moves up into 5th. Here goes the Ferrari driver, trying to stick it around outside the Haas, cannot make it stick, as we're going to be starting the final lap of the Grand Prix. Blitz needs to get this move done soon, otherwise he's going to miss out on the podium. Looks really good through this first sector. has a little bit of a snap coming out. He's going to have the DRS. Does he have the battery to follow it up? BP play, or not BP plays anymore. That's Bersaki now. Sorry. It's Toasty, Mr. Dr. B. I'm Toasty. Roopsy Cola was just not having a good day. People kept pushing him around. Thank you, Dr. B. Your love is much appreciated. Yeah. Blitz still trailing in third place. He's really going to need to make this move. Just one more DRS zone, and then I think that it'll all be over. Andy, though, he has been so dominant today. Led every lap since the safety car. I think he's going to deserve the win, but this fight for the podium spot, is it going to be over? I think it is. Sub-Zero, I think, has done enough, but it's the man, the myth, the legend, Andy, who comes across in first. Then Forrestal Waif. Sub-Zero takes third. Blitz fourth. Bersaki fifth. That's Sent by God sixth. Edge seventh. BP plays 8. Fate 9. LCR 10. Thiago 11th. Nick comes across the line in 12th and waiting on Felix to finish it up. Oh, come on. What are we doing? Andy is a Williams driver. I don't see him racing too much, but he is pretty fast. As it stands, Blitz will lead. No, actually, no, Bersaki will still lead the championship by a point. A singular point will separate the two leaders, Bersaki and Blitz. Forrestal Waif is going to get 11 points for the day. For the sprint, that's going to put him for the fight soon. If Forrestal wins the race, I think he'll be leading the championship. Fastest lap goes to Forrestal Waif. Most overtakes Nick. My driver of the day has to be Forrestal, that's for sure. From P5 up to P2, even if he didn't do too much. Second place. Still great. Yes, everyone needs to stay in the lobby. If you leave, I'm going to be very, very upset. We're going to have to watch to see how people do in qualifying and then the race. Bersaki is going to need to win the race in order to stay the championship leader. Blitz needs to win the race to become the championship leader, and Forrestal Waif needs to win the race to become the championship leader. Let's see if people listened to instructions and stayed. Looks like for the most part people did. Short. Alright. We still have 16 drivers? Then we're good to go! I just want you guys to see what Lewis sent in the comms chat, because I think this is actually so funny. So this is Lewis. He's watching the Masters, and then he has this janky little TV to watch the race. This is so adorable. I love the dedication. Lewis is so adorable. Are we readying up? What the heck are we doing, guys? Guys, my mom just delivered me some food. Oh man, I'm so excited. In case you are wondering, it is beef ramen salad. One of my favorite meals that my mom makes. So if you hear me munching away, just ignore me. Hello, Merritt. How are you doing, buddy? Long time no chat. Okay. So this is one of my favorite meals. So it's beef. I don't know like what you call it. But it's like beef cut into little pieces. And then you do ramen noodles. You put snap peas, onions, I think this is cabbage, carrots, and then like the sauce is Worcestershire sauce mixed with like some other stuff. It looks like it's raining for qualifying. This is such a good, yummy meal, though. I'm so sorry if you can hear me eating. I'm so happy to be eating this right now. I haven't had this in ages. Some people are going to be heading out of the pits. I'm so sorry, Dr. B. I didn't mean to make you hungry. Let's get some details up in here. Trying to not dirty my wheel. We don't need any of that. There we go. BP Blaze out. That is Roopsy Cola and Thiago. Track conditions, I'm sure, will be getting better over time, but I don't know if it'll ever return to a dry track. It's so good. It really is. I wonder if I could pull up a picture of it. It might be too niche. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is it. I gotta find, like, what mine looks like, though. Like this. I don't think that's quite right, but... Mine doesn't have broccoli in it. This is essentially what it is. This is it. This is exactly what mine looks like. Oh, it's so good. One of my favorite meals. Well, I guess I could have just taken a picture of mine. That works too. I'll send a picture in the paddock chat. There we go. Roopsy Cola's on a lap. Well, he's doing that. Here's what mine looks like. So beef, there's the ramen, peas. I think this is actually supposed to be like coleslaw. And then it's sauced with Worcestershire and like soy sauce. And it's so good. Oh my gosh. You guys need to make it. I don't care if you think it's disgusting. You guys have to try it. Roopsy Cola. First one across the line. 38-2. Fiaga. 37-3, going faster. Who is going to be the next across the line? That is Sent by God. 37-2. Looks like Phantom's going to be starting a lap. Versaki. What will he be doing? $37.2. 6 thousandths. Sorry, 6 thousandths of a second faster than his teammate. Who's the next across the line? Looks like Fate. Although he looks to be on for a heater. Fate 36-9 to top the board at the moment. Sorry, I wanted to pull my Discord back up. Forrestal Wave 37-4. Jay goes to top 36-6. What a drive for the Williams, sorry. I know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to miss it. Sub-Zero goes P7. BP plays 37-8. Forrestal with an invalid lap. Phantom comes across the line, goes P2, 36-9. Or 36-6-9, sorry. Sorry, I'm just getting way into my freaking dinner right now. I'm not locked in. Starting a... Oh, nope. Goes fourth. 37-2. I thought he was starting a lap, but I was wrong. So, Jay, Phantom, Fate, LCR, Mursaki, Sent by God, Fiaga, Forrestal, BP Plays, Sub-Zero, and Roopsy Cola. That is our current order. Andy is going to be starting a lap. Blitz in Sector 2. We'll stick with him for a little bit so I can chomp down. No. No, you gotta win, dude. You have a lot on the line. This is the championship battle on the line. Well, that doesn't mean that you can't still lock in. Like, sorry, so Forrestal Leif is in the chat, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not really feeling this wet quality. I can't win the championship." And then Dr. B goes, "Remember, your SD is reading your messages." "34-7 goes Mersaki. Much faster laps. Was that rain stopped? It looks like it has. Just a question of, will the track be warm enough? Unless the rain's going to pick back up. In which case it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think it might be time. Andy goes fastest with a 34.6. I would not be surprised to see some people out on dries. Here's Nick. He'll be a good representative for a dry lap. On the off. I'll switch to tires for you. Nick's going way faster. Holy crap. I think it is time for dries. Nick goes fastest Sector 1 and Sector 2. Nick, 31-2, top of the leaderboard for the Kicksauber. Most definitely time for dries. Watch Roopsy Cola for a little bit. Is that so? Forrestal said, "This track is drier than my grandma's ashes." Oh, that's so annoying, Dr. B. Will you be able to meet him? Do you think he's going to be at your airport? Sub-Zero goes fastest, 38.5. 28.5. I'm so sorry. And I'm so not locked in. I'm almost done. I'm almost done, guys, and then I'll be locked in. Okay. There we go. Fate goes fastest Sector 2. What do you mean you hate your keyboard? Forrestal, 27.4 going fastest for the Mercedes driver. Fate goes to the top, 27.1. Fate currently holds fastest sector 1 and 2, and then that's Phantom with sector 3 fastest. Oops. Everyone's on invalid laps. Phantom doesn't look to be going faster. His BP Play's going faster. Doesn't look like it. Maybe this Ferrari is. Wrong Ferrari. Ripsy says he's gonna try and get one shot. That's crazy. Into the pits goes the Ferrari. Phantom. BP Plays. Fate's not going faster. What about Thiago? Thiago's invalid. So I guess we'll just sit watching Fate's pretty car for now. As he pulls into the pits. Nick comes out. Edge has not left the pit lane. He still has inters on. He's gonna do a one shot like Roopsy is. Three minutes left in qualifying. Usually see drivers heading out about the 2-minute mark. That is one of the Ferraris heading out right now. Nick completely slowing up on track. And that's the other Ferrari. Blitz pulling out. Here comes everyone else. That looks like maybe a Williams driver. It's just everybody coming out. I'm not gonna bother listing everybody who's coming out of the pit lane. Nick has one opportunity, one shot to put in a lap. Here he goes to start it. The Kick Sauber looking to put himself on the board today. He's going to have to deal with a little bit of traffic in front of him as everybody is coming out of the pit lanes. Hopefully everybody is smart enough and reasonable enough to pull away for him. Otherwise he might be a little bit in the struggle bus. Fastest sector 1. Nick putting in the work off the bat. Kick Sauber driver through sector 1 into sector 2. Looking to do something here today. Edge retires. A little bit of traffic. Hopefully it doesn't slow Nick up too much, as he is going to have maybe a little bit of slipstream here from the Haas, as the Haas completely pulls over, not letting him have any of it. Nick goes fast to sector 2. Looking to put himself on pole position. Will he be able to do it? Into the last set of corners. Nick across the line. Goes P2. Just not quite fast enough. Blitz goes fast as sector 1. Grid penalty for Sent by God on Phantom. That's going to cost him 5 big fat places. Felix retires. Jay retires. Andy goes fastest, Sector 1. That is sent by God's qualifying over. Roopsy goes fastest, Sector 1. Then immediately gets shown up by Fate. LCR goes fastest, 26.3 to set the pace. What an insane lap. Blitz goes fastest, 25.8, going even faster. Sprint winner, Andy, looking to put himself on top of the timing tower. Will the Williams driver be able to do it? Yes, he can. No, he can't. I got pranked. No, he can't. Andy, 26 flat to go P2. Sub-Zero goes P4. Bersaki, P3. Roopsy goes up to the top, P2 for the Mercedes Reserve. Fate, P7. That's Phantom, P3. Don't forget, he will have that grid penalty, though. BP Plays, P8. Thiago, P10. Forstall, P4. Goes the Mercedes driver, and that will wrap up this qualifying session. Blitz will be our pole sitter. Then Roopsy, Cola, Forstall, Andy, Mersaki. Then I think LCR, Phantom, maybe, Fate, BP Play, Sub-Zero, Thiago, Air Nick, Felix, Sent by God, Jay, and Edge. Very, very competitive times for the top 5. I think any of these guys could win it. Blitz, Cola, Phantom, Forstall, Andy, maybe even Rasaki if he can pick up the pace a little in the race. But it is the Ferrari driver, Blitz, looking to increase his championship lead now, as he is provisionally leading the championship. Yeah, so, or is it Sent by God who has the penalty? I think it's Sent by God. I was so wrong. Sorry. So it's Blitz, Cola, Phantom, Forstall, Andy, Mersaki, LCR, Fate, BP Play, Sub-Zero, Thiago, Nick, Felix, Sent by God, Jay, Edge, and then whatever frickin' penalties apply, or whatever. I don't even know. Forstall wants me to airdrop him my dinner. It's all in my tummy now, Fate. Or not Fate, Forstall. It's all in my tummy. So, we are waiting for the drivers to line up on grid. It'll be 28 laps here in Britain. Very competitive top 5 here today. Anybody's race. 3 people fighting for the championship lead. Several more fighting for other positions. I don't think Lewis is a fan of my dinner. Yes, let's keep it nice and clean, Dr. B. I agree. Okay, Lewis apparently does like it. No, you called it slop earlier. Heavy rain towards end, says Roopsy Cola. Thank you. I appreciate you telling me that. At least as clean as Toasty's plate after finishes dinner. That is so true. I try to clean my plate off as much as possible. I'm not a big fan of wasting food. That's how I always grew up. I'd love to hear how you guys grew up. Were you guys... I was a family where if you didn't eat your dinner, you either had to sit at the table and finish it, or it was your lunch for the next day. And so it's not like that anymore, now that I'm older, but I always try to clean my plate. I don't know, it's just, old habits die hard. Are we, do I need to give the go-ahead? I thought people were going to be smarter, guys. Go ahead, guys. Remember, you can when the race turned 1. Didn't finish my dinner, but that was the last thing I'd eat, no matter what, that day. I've never heard of that. That's kind of... I like that. I think I like that more than being forced to sit at my dinner table staring at my food, or being forced to eat that for lunch the next day. Yeah, it is definitely a better middle ground. Alright, good luck, everybody. Oh my gosh. This is so stupid. Solz, get your freaking thing under control. Here we go for the Britain race. Blitz sits on pole. Roopsy Cola, Phantom, Forstall, Andy Brasaki. They go racing in Britain for the second time. Blitz getting a massive pull away as Felix already retires. Roopsy Cola fighting to keep his P2, and now he's gonna look for the race lead already. That is Roopsy Cola. Oh, that's gonna be a VSC already. Okay. Jay gets a 10-second. Oh my! Why are we already having a VSC? What is this? What are we doing? Oh my god! Oh my god. Okay, Roopsy Cola leads the race. Now that we have a first turn VSC. Oh my god. Then Blitz, Phantom, Forstall, Murasaki, Andy, Fate, LCR, BP, Sub-Zero, Thiago, Nick, Edge, Sent by God, and then Jay and Felix have retired. So that's going to make this opening lap a lot less lackluster. Here's your possible race strategies. I wonder how many people are actually following that. Probably a big fat none. Yeah, look at that. And they go back to racing here in Britain. Roopsy Cola leading the VSC restart. Phantom looks desperate to get by Blitz here. 2/10 the gap. Will he be able to get by? Trailing right behind that Ferrari driver. Roopsy Cola taking the fastest lap because, I mean, he's the leader. DRS enabled now. Sent by God gets a 10-second penalty, and he's going to retire. Roopsy Cola under attack. Does a great job to defend Blitz, though. Going to keep his first place. Phantom sitting P3. Slowly falling back from Blitz, I think. If he blinks too hard, he might have to worry about Forstall behind him, trying to take the championship lead. Blitz doing a great job sticking with Roopsy Cola. not letting this dirty air get the best of him. DRS is going to be enabled. That flap swings open. Are there going to be any moves in the front? Blitz tries to go around the outside. Gets some gravel on his tires. Phantom takes him a little tap as Blitz probably has some tire spin from that gravel. Everybody's taking the fastest lap. Looks like it's going to be BP Plays, though, who will hold it right now. All on the back of Blitz is Phantom, almost pushing him through that corner. Reapsy goes defensive. Blitz on the attack, cannot get enough speed to get by, though. Phantom slowly trying to close that gap as Reapsy's trying to pull away. Blitz under attack. Can he do it? No, he cannot. Keeps teasing me. Everyone still close together. Big long train from 1st to 9th. How long will that stay, though? Blitz is getting ever closer to this race lead. Saw him try it here last lap. Can he stick it this time? DRS goes open. Does he have the eras to burn? He's following back and forth, following Roopsy Cola. Cannot get by. Holding P2 still. It is US and EU drivers. Anyone is welcome. We are a US-based league, but we welcome everybody to race. I think the Discord should be in our bio. I could be wrong about that, though. Usually we don't have issues with the EU drivers with their ping. Blitz has a little bit of an incident with Phantom. Phantom! Can he get by now? The McLaren driver with the DRS cannot. Sticks behind. This 1-2-3 still holding pace. Mursaki maybe looking aggressive on Forrestal for that P4. Trying to get back up the order. Mursaki. He wants to do something. That's for sure. Andy. He is sitting pretty in P6 on his hards, filing in order. What a beautiful helicopter cam. I don't remember what pole time was, actually. Blitz goes attacking! Still cannot get by. Roopsy Cola doing a great job of defending. Roopsy leading the race after 4 laps, sorry, not 5. I think pole time was I want to say a 25 something, like a high 25. Phantom tries to stick it down the inside. He has to worry about Forrestal. Mursaki trying to get by Forrestal as well. Everybody trying to go for something here. Forrestal fighting for 3rd. I think he gets by. No, he does not. He did it for a little bit. Was not able to stick the move, though. His teammate leads. Forrestal still sitting in P4. Oh, that's Phantom down the order. Losing several positions. Forrestal taking 3rd. Andy on the attack to move up into 4th place. Pushes Bersaki out of the way a little bit. Up into fourth goes Andy. Fate's going to try to follow. Cannot get by. Holding sixth as Phantom retires in the pit lane. Lewis, you are so right. This is just esports. I mean, we have a train from first place to 10th. What is this? This is the craziest thing I've seen. I don't know what happened to the McLaren. I know he got a 10-second time penalty and then retired. He probably, oh, he said, I'm not staying up till 1 a.m. to be pushed around and brake checked by the front two. Direct quote from him. Roopsy still leading, but he is going to have to look in his rear view mirror. Blitz is going to be here close. DRS flap goes open. He's going to use it to close that gap. Cannot get by still. We've been waiting for this move for a while. I think Blitz is starting to get a little feisty. I'm sure his tires aren't loving the air, the dirty air that he's getting. If he can get into clean air, he can help his race so much more. Yellow flags on the back. DRS opens again on the attack. Blitz, will he get by the Mercedes? No, he will not. He will keep getting closer and closer. And Andy is going to keep getting closer and closer to Forrestal. Holy sweaty race right now. Andy, he looks to be on the attack. Up into third, the Williams driver. Fantastic move. DRS zone, is there going to be any swaps? Andy may look like he's trying to go for something. Trying to move up into second. His hards are going to start to be a little faster than the mediums as Blitz pulls into the pits. He's going to be trying to do the alternate two-stop. Roopsy leads. Then Andy, Forrestal, Bersaki, Fate, LCR, BP Play, Sub-Zero, Thiago, Edge, and Nick. And Nick retires. So everybody, if you just finish the race, you get at least 2 points. Everyone's still in a train from P1 all the way to P8 still. Roopsy still doing a great job of leading this race. Still the fastest man out on track. But Andy, coming from his sprint win, he is going to be looking to maybe try to pull off the double win today. Will he have the pace? Only time will tell. Through Maggots and Beckett's, these drivers go. DRS is going to be slipped on. Andy going to be pulling closer to the Mercedes driver. Ever closer. That gap is shrinking like wildfire. Will Andy pull it off as Roopsy pulls into the pits? Andy's going to lead now. That's going to give him such a great advantage as he gets by. LCR goes into the pits too. Forrestal sits P2 and he does not have the DRS. So Andy is in some great position right now. He has the clean air and he has nobody to worry about behind him. Forrestal, Mersacky, Fate, BP Plays, all in a small little train now. I'm sure Forrestal is probably wishing that he had some DRS right now, as he is going to have to worry about Mersacky on the attack. Mersacky trying to do some wonderful things here today in Britain. He didn't have the best of sprints, but he's trying to make up for it in this race. Fate is also there in P4. He might be trying to do something. Fate, the V-Carb driver, getting ever closer to Mersacky. If Mersacky's not careful, he's going to have to worry about the junior V-Car, or the junior Red Bull. Not junior V-Carb. Mix the two. DRS open. Mersacky using it to pull closer to Forrestal and pull farther away from Fate. The Red Bull and somebody else. That's Forrestal into the pits. And he still leads now. Lap 10 of 26. Fate sitting in a little bit of no man's land. BP Plays is with him. We'll have to see how these drivers interact with each other. Will they play nice? Blitz takes the fastest lap. And he's still using his advantage of the clean air. Fate P2. BP Plays B3. We'll have to see how these alternate strategies play out. I don't know what everyone's going for. If I were driving, I'd probably be trying to go the one stop. We'll have to see how it all plays out though. Rain is also on the mitts. I think we can start to see the track getting a little bit darker. That's BP Plays. He's looking for and move. Will he get it? Yes, he will. BP Plays moves up into second as Fate pulls into the pits. Andy out in first, sitting more than comfortable. When he pits, we'll have to see how he comes out compared to Blitz. Blitz trying to put in the work as he takes yet another fastest lap for the Ferrari driver on the hards, trying to close up that gap. Blitz is ahead of Roopsy, who's ahead of Forrestal, who's ahead of Mersacky. Fate's going to come out in P10 behind the Ferrari of LCR. Top four, the only to not pit yet. The race has started to lull down now that everybody has made their pit stop. Mersacky has broken into the DRS of Forrestal. He is going to try to stick with him on the fresh mediums. As Thiago gets a 10-second for track limits. That's our first one in 11 laps. That's kind of impressive. Good job, everybody. Doing great. BP Plays pulls into the pits. Out a second. And Thiago pits. Edge to P2 now. If a safety car comes out, Edge could be in for a great race. Mersacky taking the fastest lap, 28.7. Two people yet to pit. Andy and Edge. Both 11 laps on the hards. They're putting in the work to extend, using their tire life to their advantage. But how will it play out compared to other people who have already made their pit stops? Don't forget there's also rain apparently supposed to be coming at some point, according to Roopsy Cola at the very start of the race. So we'll have to be on the lookout for that and how that affects people's strategy. Risaki still trying to stick with Forrestal. He should have the faster tires, but is he the faster driver? Only time will tell. I mean, Risaki does lead the championship currently, so you would think that he's the fastest driver, but you never know. Edge pulls into the pits. Andy, the only one yet to pit. How will that play out for him? Blitz. P2 now. 17 seconds the gap. Andy will come out behind Blitz. I think he'll also come out behind Roopsy and Forrestal. Maybe even Risaki. Is the one stop going to be faster? We'll have to see. I think that everyone else is doing the two stop. I could be very wrong though. So maybe just don't listen to me. Guess we'll have to see. Feet gets by LCR. Up into 6th. Forrestal will have the DRS on his teammate now. Through Maggots and Beckett's. Forrestal still dealing with the pressure of Risaki behind him. Gonna have a little bit of work to do. These drivers are pulling closer together. Forrestal, Risaki, and Fate. All in a little bit of a train now. Settling into pace. Forrestal getting closer to his teammate. Are they going to swap places? If not, I think Forrestal might have to deal with Risaki. Blitz is playing this wonderfully, though, as he is currently the net leader once Andy pulls in to do his pit stop. And there's Andy pulling against the pits. The Mercedes driver swap position. Forrestal moves up into 3rd. And Roopsy Cola into 4th. Very simple, clean swap by the drivers. Not wasting any time whatsoever. So Blitz will be our race leader now. Where does Andy come out of the pits? The Williams driver coming out, I think, P7 behind LCR. Well, we're in this little bit of a lull. We have some clips from Jay to watch. We'll watch his start. Oh. That was the Williams driver's start. Interesting music taste, Jay. Forrestal Waif and Roopsy Cola are lapping about equal. Hard to tell who the faster Mercedes driver is. Just gonna have to duke it out on track, I guess. But they're doing a great job of working together, trying to stay ahead of Mercedes, who's, I'm sure that his tires are starting to feel some effects of wear, as he's been behind somebody for this entire stint. Andy's catching up, and he takes the fastest first sector, looking to be on for a fastest lap attempt. The Ferrari driver up ahead. He's going to play some defense as his teammate is fighting for the win right now. At least you'd think that he'd be playing some defense to help his teammate. Andy is probably going to be a little annoyed dealing with this, as he is on very fresh tires compared to the not fresh at all tires of the Ferrari. That DRS switches on. Should not be any issue for Andy to get by. Andy moves up to 6th. Now on the hunt for 5th. That's Thiago with yet another 3-second time penalty for track limits. Roopsy struggling to stay within the DRS of Forrestal Waif. If he drops out, that could be very, very interesting for Mercedes, who could be looking to make a move to be on the podium. We'll have to see if he can keep up, though. Forrestal playing the team game all the way to the max. So I think he maybe drops back a little bit to make sure that Roopsy continues to get that DRS, as working together very, very well. Andy is hunting down Fate right now in P6, trying to get up to P5. 1.3 seconds the gap. He's one to watch, as he was leading over half of this race. Gap between Forrestal and Roopsy, 0.5. The two Mercedes drivers working together, trying to secure a beautiful 2-3 for the Mercedes team. Rain, I heard, is coming. See if I can flip on my graphic. No. Is rain coming? Because I genuinely can't see it. It's on my second monitor and it's so small, so I can't actually see what the weather looks like. That is LCR taking a 3-second for track limits. Andy is within the DRS of Fate now, looking to get back into the top 5, the Williams driver. But Fate is pulling closer to Mercedes, and I think he's going to get the DRS. Big long train from 2nd to 6th. So no, Fate does not get the DRS. Andy will. Mercedes complaining on the radio about his tires.
And Murasaki takes a 3-second. That's going to be detrimental to him. Yeah, Murasaki is taking a weird strategy. I think he was hoping for that rain to come a little quicker than it is. Will we see any swaps of the DRS straight? Andy thinks about it, but he's going to tuck back inside. Not risking it just yet. I think he has the pace if he wanted. Murasaki has a small little slip up. Like we said, he was complaining on the radio about his tires, and I think we're going to start to see some effects of that. Andy, he looks to be on a move. Fate keeps looking in his mirrors, watching for the Williams driver. DRS turns on. Is Andy going to try to get by? He was closing so much time. I don't think he quite has the speed, though. He's going to try to follow Murasaki through. Fate on the attack. Oh, Fate has a little bit of a spin. There goes Andy. He's going to get by up into 5th. Now on the attack of Murasaki. Fate's not going to be happy about that one. Not how he wanted to lose that position in any means. Andy looking to make a move on the Red Bull, and it's not even close as he gets by up into 4th. Andy now on the hunt for the 2 Mercedeses. Trying to do something to put himself back into 1st, but Blitz, he has such a big, strong lead, and if this rain comes out, it could throw everything for a loop. So we'll have to see how this plays out, especially if this rain ends up coming. Thiago gets by Edge in the very back. Fate gets by Murasaki. Murasaki down to 6th place. His alternate strategy is not working out for him. Andy has closed back into the DRS, and here comes in Murasaki to put on a fresh set of tires out of 6th place. That's going to lose him a couple of positions. Fate started 8th, now sitting 5th. Doing a great job. Murasaki out on the softs. Could secure a fastest lap point here today. At the very least. Andy looking to be for a move on Roopsy Cola. Can he get it? Roopsy goes defensive. It is going to be the Mercedes side by side. Forrestal backs out of it though. Being very, very smart to not fight with his teammate. His teammate's not the real battle. It's Andy who's all over the back of him. Fate's pulling in closer. This could be very, very interesting. DRS is going to turn on. Is there going to be any shifts in this top 4? Andy, he's going to try to follow through. Will he get the move done? Down the inside of one of the Mercedes. Very clean move if he can stick it. Trying to get around, cannot, but here comes Fate! Fate capitalizing on Andy's harsh overtake. Side by side with the Williams. Fate and Andy racing side by side. Andy going off wide, and he's going to lose a position to Fate. Down to P5. Andy with the DRS though. Will he be able to do anything? I don't think so. Not on this straight at least. Sitting pretty. This top 2 to 5 sitting really close together. I think Blitz is in some joyous land right now as he is 5 seconds ahead of Roopsy Cola. Pulling that gap, his strategy is working like a charm. Checking up with Mersaki, who's in 11th place right now. Fate is getting closer to Forrestal. Forrestal needs to hold on just a little more. Here goes Fate on the attack. He's going to follow behind Roopsy. Trying to use the slipstream to his advantage, but Fate is not able to move any positions. Blitz pulls into the pits. Same with Andy. And the rain is coming! It is officially raining, so these guys who have all pit are taking the gamble, hoping that the pitting to enter sooner is going to help him out. Forrestal and Fate still out on the hards. I completely missed that it was raining. Forrestal, Fate, and Sub-Zero yet to pit. Mersaki, I'm sure, is not a happy camper as he just needed to wait another 2 laps. How will this strategy work out? Roopsy, Andy, BP plays, LCR, all of them on the inters. How hard is Fate gonna try to fight this position now? With, a little bit of slippage there, sliding through the track. I think it's starting to wet up a little bit. What is the call here? Do you try to last it out, or are you going to pit to inters? Roopsy gets a 3-second time penalty. That's going to cost him. Forrestal comes in, but Fate does not. Fate is going to gamble. He's going to try to hold it out on the hards if he can. Where does Forrestal come out compared to Blitz and Roopsy, though? That is going to be my big question. When was the right time to box? Forrestal coming out of his pit. In the background, you can see the Ferrari. Does he come out ahead? It's going to be close. Forrestal comes out ahead of Roopsy. What a gamble that pays off for Forrestal. And he's going to make quick move of Thiago, who's still out on his hards. Forrestal up into 5th. Chasing down Blitz, who is sitting pretty in P4. This track, I'm sure, is starting to get damper and damper. Can Fate hold out for another 3 laps? If he can, he'll come home the victor. If not, I think it's going to be Blitz. Fate is on. He's deafened in the VC right now that he's in. Completely locked in as he's going to opt to stay out. He has 2 laps on the hards. Well, this track is getting damper. If his strategy works out, he is going to be the biggest victor here. If not, he's probably going to lose so many positions. Biggest gamble today. Blitz pushing Mersaki through the final corner. Mersaki still fighting this position so hard for whatever reason. That's Thiago into the pits. Mersaki still fighting this position as hard as he can. not letting Blitz by. They're going to make a little bit of contact on the exit of turn 5. That DRS is still enabled, so Blitz is going to use that to his advantage, as he's going to try to go down the inside of Meraki, and he makes the move stick. Blitz up into P3. B plays. He looks like he's going to be trying to do something on Andy very shortly if he can. Sliding a little bit on the exit of that corner. Let's cut back up to our race leader, though. Fate. One more lap as Meraki. He's going to retire! Into the wall! Meraki in the wall! No! As we start the final lap! Fate just needs to hone it in. 2 more sectors for Fate. I guess 2.5 more sectors for Fate. I think his strategy works as the FIA just now disables the DRS. Meraki will still obtain 2 points today for finishing most of the race, but it is very unfortunate for the Red Bull driver who just could not make it work today. Fate into Sector 2 now. Everything comes down to this. 13 seconds is the gap between him and Blitz, and it is not falling away. But this track is getting damper, which is going to make it harder to Fate to stay on track. He needs to keep it very, very careful through Maggots and Beckett's. One wrong snap, and he will be out of this race, as we saw Meraki do. Alright, that's the aftermath of Meraki. Into Sector 3. Fate with the strategy of dreams, staying out as it starts to rain, taking his hard 15 laps. The V-Carb driver is going to be more than happy about winning this race today, as he's going to be very careful across these final corners. The man who deserves it all. Fate wins the T2 Britain GP. Blitz is going to come across in P2. The man who should have done it, but will not. Actually, Forrestal will take home P2. What? When did Blitz get a penalty? I don't know. Sub-Zero for race P3, though. Also staying out on the hards when everybody else pit to the inters. Blitz P4, Roopsie P5, Andy P6, BP Lays P7, LCR P8, Edge P9, Viago P10. That was on the pit entry. I see. I didn't catch that apparently. But it is Fate. What a race for the V-Carb driver. The wonderful strategy to win it all here in Britain. Doing a little jig. He deserves that today. The biggest winner is Fate. Fastest lap goes to Meraki, so he'll take home that point. My driver of the day definitely goes to Fate. P8 to P1, winning the race. Forrestal takes home a P2. I think that might put him in the lead of the championship. We'll have to wait for the standings to come out, though. Sub-Zero for race, taking home a nice podium for the Haas team. Blitz P4, Roopsie P5, Andy P6, BP Lays in P7, LCRS P8, Edge P9, Thiago P10. Meraki will take home at least 2 points today, and Nick, Phantom, Sent by God, Jay, Felix, all retired. Try to catch the race director really quick because I know that people have been complaining about that. So don't whine about me. But I have been your host and commentator, Toasty Evan Bread. Thank you all for joining me here today. I hope to be in here one day again. Hopefully be out on the track eventually. Once again, I have been Toasty Evan Bread. Thank you all for joining me. Enjoy your night, morning, evening, whatever time it is for you. Goodbye.